Yo, what's up? I'm going off script this time. What is that? What are you talking about, Jake? I have this long script on my phone right here, and I have been trying to film this video for weeks now. I've had this script, and then it's just like every day that goes by I have something new to say, but it's been 3 months since I've made a video, and I'm freaking hot. It's been like 100 degrees in Austin for like 3 years straight now. I'm being over dramatic, and I'm sick of staring at these freaking concrete walls. This is basically my home right now. I call it my dark hole, okay, because it is shade. You know, a lot has happened since the last video, but also absolutely nothing at the same time. Things have honestly kind of progressively gotten worse, but the thing is that my mental has just gotten like better and better, which by the end of the video, I'm sure will make a lot more sense. But I do have a lot to update everyone on. I'm gonna start this video off pretty dark, and then it'll gradually go into like lighter topics, and then probably dark again. But for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Jake McCollum. I've got over 6 years clean from my drug of choice. I've got over 3 years clean from all mind-altering substances in accordance to recovery. So, you know, weed, alcohol, pills, etc. And then I've been living out of my car for over 6 years now. I'm not sure if anyone's done that before. And then 7 years ago, I started this YouTube channel, fresh out of rehab in Florida, just trying to document my life. So first, I should probably address the thumbnail. That I went to the hospital like 9 months ago, and I just never told anybody. Basically, it was a conglomerate of things that all led up to one day that caused me to go to the hospital. Jake, what are you talking about? Well, it was things like me being 33 years old and not having life figured out. I mean, I think a lot of people probably go through that, but it's like, it just sometimes feels like I ain't got no goals. I have no future to look forward to, and I don't know what that even looks like. So there's that. There's my already existing anxiety and depression. It's me trying to stay sober. It's me being 33 years old, wanting to take care of my family and my friends, but I'm too poor. It's me constantly having to work crap jobs. It's this, and it's combined all together, all hit me at once. And one morning I just woke up and I couldn't handle it anymore. My chest was tight. I couldn't breathe. And so I ended up going to the hospital, in the ER. They do some EKG scans on me. They take blood. And then I sat in a hospital bed for hours. And then finally the doctor comes in and is like, man, you're one of the healthiest people that have come into this hospital. And then he proceeded to compare my heart rate to Michael Jordan's. And I'm just like, that's awesome, doc. Like, thank you for the compliment. That's sick. But like, what's wrong with me? And he didn't know. And so basically I had to come to my own conclusion. And the only thing I could think of was, it was probably a panic attack. You know, my anxiety had just gotten so overwhelming that it just balled up into what had happened. And so what do we make from this? For me, what I took away from this was, I think that I don't have enough faith in God. I think that I have to handle every single little damn thing by myself, when we were not designed to have to do that. We were designed to help each other, to serve God. And I just felt, I mean, a lot of people probably know by now, but I've been trying to become closer to God the past couple of years. I grew up in the church and everything, but I never truly had like faith in God. You know what I mean? What does that look like for you, Jake? I spend like the first 30 minutes to an hour just praying, reading the Bible, and then usually there's like a Bible app with a 1-minute lesson, and it just sets me up for the rest of the day. And then I have a couple of reminders on my phone, like in the middle of the day, no matter what, I stop what I'm doing, and for like, it could be 2 minutes, it could be 30 minutes. Sometimes I just will sit there and pray or read another Bible verse. And then at the end of the day, I have been trying to Seisho o Junban ni Yomu, Japanese for I've been trying to read the Bible in order. And so far I'm in Joshua. And, you know, ever since I got out of the ER, and started to implement this more in my life, you know, I previously was trying to do something similar to that, but like mentally, like I'm not sure if my head was actually in it or not, because if I had had faith in the first place, why would I be freaking out so much? You know what I mean? Because I am so much more at ease today than I was when I went to the ER, and it's just because I feel like I've been trying to put my faith more in God than in myself, trying to handle everything by myself. And in addition to trying to strengthen my relationship with God, I've also been trying to find groups, recovery groups, church. I've continued to hang out with my close friend Eric. You know, we'll go and skate, we'll go and adventure, we'll go and bounce ideas off of each other. And then recently I made a new friend named Joseph, which ironically me and him actually met in Colorado randomly one day, and now he lives here. And then he made a running club, and I've actually been like one of the lead pacers for the run club, and so I've been meeting people that way as well. And then speaking of trying to get my life in order, God and mental health, something really cool happened to me on May 17th of this year, which was my 33rd birthday.
But while I was walking around the park handing out the flyers, I ran into my friend Jake, who I hadn't seen in 2 years. Yo, no way! What's up, bro? You could call this a random coincidence or whatever you want, but I kid you not, this happened shortly after I prayed to God about something and just asked him for a sign that I was on the right path. Jake and I went on to have some really deep, powerful conversations that made it really clear to me that God brought us together for a reason.
All right, so I was trying to leave Zilker. It's my birthday. Randomly stumbled into this guy right here. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is Brian Arnett, an OG YouTuber that's amassed over 300,000 subscribers on YouTube on just his main channel. And we were actually introduced by my friend Jay Films when I was still out in Los Angeles, just to paint a picture of how crazy this coincidence really was. And so we got to spend some time together, and I ended up asking him a couple of questions. And y'all know me for talking about mental health and depression a lot and everything, and I kind of wanted to get Brian's opinion on this. Like, have you struggled with depression or anxiety in the past, and if so, how have you dealt with it?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like everyone sort of has dealt with depression and anxiety in different ways. You can't really compare your situation to someone else's, but I think we could all relate to it. Me, I've always been sort of a positive person, and I've always tried to look on the bright side of things. And you know, it's not as simple as just like, oh, if you're sad, well, think happy. But in a way, it kind of is. Like, you can almost trick yourself into a positive mindset. You could be having the worst day, the worst week, the worst 6 months, and if you're constantly forcing yourself to look on the bright side of things, I believe that life is 80% or more mindset. So no matter what situation I'm in, it might not be right away because we're emotional, we're human, but I like to take a moment to step back and try to look on the bright side of things. I know it sounds really simple and it's easier said than done, but over time, constantly looking at what you do have rather than what you don't have, looking on the bright side of things, it really makes the world of a difference. I always try to tell people, treat yourself how you would treat a friend. If a friend comes to you with like things they're going through, you're not gonna kick them down, you know? You're going to do your best to lift them up, as a good friend should. Also, to be honest, when I got closer to God and started praying more, he blessed me with so much clarity that I realized a lot of my problems were in my head. If you're in a bad place and you're trying, nothing seems to be working, give it to God.
Shout out Brian Arnett. Thank you for coming on to the channel and being willing to share some of your wisdom with us. And I just think God is good. I mean, what are the chances of something like that happening where we just run into each other randomly like that? And now I kind of want to get dark again for a second and talk about what I've been going through more recently, up until today even. You know, since April, months ago, I basically had to start working deliveries again after quitting the grocery store, and I've also been picking up more dog walks, but both jobs are inconsistent as heck, and it's just been extremely rough ever since April. And I've basically, because of how low the wages have become for both, it's like I have been paycheck to paycheck, and that's with working basically every single day. What I'm trying to say is I've been falling behind. Even though I work my ass off all the time, I can still barely pay my bills. My phone bill got cut off last month, and I had to use my last couple of $100 to get it turned back on. I literally missed my last payment for my car last month, and so that's probably gonna hit my credit or whatever. And then even in the middle of working every single day, trying to do deliveries and walk dogs, I've been filling out hundreds of applications for any position, just like for editing, even like restaurants. And I basically already have two other jobs that I might have. One hasn't called me back. It's a dog company. And then the other one, I actually do have the job. It's for this restaurant, but the restaurant doesn't open up for another month. And so as of this very moment that you are watching me, I am like $1,500 behind. And it's just like, it just feels like I have no control. It feels like I'm working as hard as I possibly can, as many hours as I possibly can, and it's not good enough. Okay, but here's the thing. Instead of freaking out and have another panic attack, which I'm at the verge of, I'm just gonna try and chill and relax. And instead of making the same mistake I did before, I'm just gonna put my faith in God and see what happens. Let me share 2 Bible verses that are keeping me at peace right now. One is Matthew chapter 6 verses 25 through 27. Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them and takes care of them. Are you not more valuable than they are, than a bird? And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to your lifespan? And then Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 through 7 says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding. That's my favorite part about that, because I don't know what the heck is going on anymore at this point. Will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. And so here I am, just leaning on God. Thankfully, I have $50 in cash that I can use to eat some food with in the next couple of days or whatever. But the reason that I haven't been able to film as many videos, obviously, besides money and time and whatnot, is I just feel like maybe I don't have anything to offer the world, And I know that's a lie, but it keeps me from creating most of the time. But more than anything, it's just that I literally can't afford to make videos anymore because time is money. And trust me, I've been trying to think of ways to where I can actually try and get my YouTube channel back and running again. Whether it's sponsorships, and I do get a lot of emails, but it's for stupid things. And then I've been seeing a lot of YouTubers and streamers go like the donation route, whether it's Patreon, whether it's like subs on Twitch, and whatnot. Like, for instance, Ryan Trahan, one of my favorite YouTubers, recently just did a series of visiting 50 states in 50 days while raising money for St. Jude. And I see that, I'm just like blown away by that, And then I had another idea. Like, I love live streaming. What I would really like to do is get a second phone to be able to live stream when I'm out working, doing deliveries and stuff, and we can have a good time. It's just I don't have the money for another monthly phone bill, much less actually paying for the phone itself. But that's another thing that I would love to do. But basically, at the end of the day, I'd just like to figure out a way how I can serve others. Maybe it's by using this YouTube channel, maybe it's not. But like, what can I do to help you who's watching this, or anybody else out in the world right now that has a problem that needs to be solved? You know what I mean? And maybe I'm answering my own question by filming this video. I don't know, you tell me if you got any value out of this. I feel like I just continue to complain and tell y'all how miserable I am. But I am trying, and I got to give myself that. I'm not useless. I know I do have a lot of wisdom in my head. I just continue to lie to myself and say that I don't, and I'm sure the same is for you, because we've all been going through things. We're all going through something right now, and I pray that whatever you are going through right now, it gets better, and that it gets better for me as well. So subscribe. I've got a bunch of links down in the description below if you want to help your boy out. Again, it's up to you. I got to figure things out myself regardless. And I love you. Jesus loves you.